Right, we moved on to a new section called random numbers. I've created a brand new project called random numbers, and I've placed some structured English in here within the /* comments to give you an idea of what we're going to try and attempt just now. The first thing says work out a random number between 1 and 6 like a dice roll. So imagine you just roll the dice, it will stop on one side, and the side that's face up will have a number on it. So we'll try and do code that does something like that. Number 2, obviously show the random number that popped up. If that works, we move on to the next one, which is work out a random number between 16 and 65. Imagine these represent ages. Then of course show that random number, and then work out that random number that popped up, multiply it by 1,000, and let's just call that money. So imagine if it rolled on, say, 18, right? The money would be something like 18,000, and simply show the money value on screen as if we're pretending to give that person that amount of money just because they're lucky. So it's all about random luckiness at the moment. Now you find that random numbers in computing are not that random, right? It's very hard to make something random in a computer because a computer doesn't operate in a random way. It's very structured. Whereas as far as we can tell, when people win the lottery, it just seems to be random. So that's a slight difference there. But our digital version of random numbers, let's have a look at that just now. I've included the number format for the UK because it did mention money in the question, so I'll leave that there. There's no need for any scanners because it doesn't ask to type anything in via the keyboard, so I'll just stick to just working things out. Now I need a random number for a dice roll, so I'm going to call that, and let's pick something. And do you know what? This random number, 1 to 6, sounds like a whole number there, there's no decimals. So it makes sense to make an integer. So int I, and I'll just call it dice roll. That's a good name there. And I want to work this out just now. One of the best ways of doing things is to find out the answers. Now I know the answer, but I think it's a good idea that you have an experience of doing a little bit of research yourself. You won't always have the answer through one of these videos, and you'll have to do some internet searching yourself. Now I'm sure we all know how to search for certain things on the internet, such as pictures, but what do you do when it comes to questions about code? Now I need to find something about Java, so I type in Java, and I'm looking for the idea of finding out how to get a random number. So I'll type in random number, press enter, see what pops up. There's a bunch of links here. This is one I've already checked, but I'll click on it anyway so you can see what I looked at. And I load it up here, ignore all the rubbish about it, and down here scroll through. It does mention random somewhere, and here it says answers. So here's someone's answer to work out a random number, and it says here 50 is the maximum and 1 is the minimum, which means that line of code plus the ones above it work out random numbers between 1 and 50. So grab the code. You could type it in manually if you want, but in reality you'll never remember all this stuff. It's maybe a good idea to paste things in. You'll paste it in here, but things will have to be moved around. I see straight away it says import. Import lines don't appear here, they appear up there as we've seen before. So I'll push that line up there. And it says import Java util random. So it's some place within the Java language inside a section called util that contains the random information that I need. So I'll use that. Down here I've got a brand new variable being created, and it's a random type of variable. And the default name it tends to be is this, rand. So I'll have to use this variable rand at some point, and it's used to help generate random numbers. So there's a line in there that says int n. No, I don't want n. I'm going to use my line. Dice roll. Obviously, I'm removing that line because I don't need it now. So I'm saying dice roll. Now, I know dice isn't up to 50, it's up to 6. So this would be between 6 and 1 inclusive. So that should work out dice roll. That's the first thing. So that was number 1. Next one says show it. Let's have a look. Let's look at it. Oh, capital S. There you go, print ln, and I'll put a message in as usual, something that makes sense. The dice rolled, and then what did it roll? It rolled this, and then we'll save that just now. I want to see us working to make sure it's operating correctly, so I hit run, and I obviously see the screen. It says it rolled a 3. Now I didn't tell it to roll a 3, it randomly picked that. Let's do it again. It's a 2 now, then it's a 3 again, then it's a 3 again, 5, 3, and as you see, some numbers keep popping up, but that's just randomness. That's the idea of it. There you go. I think we've covered all the numbers now. I'm just running it again and again. There's no reason why the same number can't pop up twice or 3 times in a row, because it is random. So that seems to work. So let's accelerate the code. The next one, 16 to 65. Now we know how to do this now, so it shouldn't take too long. So I'll put another one in. I like to put all these things together. So int, and I get rid of that little space there. Age equals, guess what? I could use rand again, couldn't I? Rand dot, and it says next int, right? And then numbers. So I know that the highest one is 65, right? And then plus, and then just a little bit complex. So what we'll have to do is a little bit more research. Now I've already done the research to see what's done. What I'll do is I'll paste in what I've found out. There you go there. And if you look at that, it's a bit complex looking suddenly. There's brackets for BODMAS here and all these other things. They've taken this value here, which is our maximum value for the age, deducted the minimum value to work out how many ages there are, added 1 because it seems to need to add 1 to work this out, and then added 16 as well. Now it sounds complex. I'm not sure myself how this works, but it does work. So what I'll do is I'll put another system command in to see the answer, and we'll see what happens when we run it. So instead of saying dice roll, it'll be the age is, and change dice roll to age or iAge. Then we save this up here, go over there and run it. And when you run it, it tells me the age is 61. Now 61 is within the values of 16 to 65. Let's run it a few more times. And as I do this, you see that the age range is quite large, obviously, between 16 to 65. But every number so far is coming up within those areas. So I'll keep clicking a few times. You do again see some repeat, but that's what happens in randomness. There's a 17 there, 57. So it definitely does work. So that works out the age between two values, a minimum value and a maximum value. Obviously, you'd replace this with your maximum value, that we have minimum value, and that also with a minimum value. So that's just worked out things. Did a bit of showing, did a bit of working out as well. And the last one here talks about the money thing. So let's work at the money thing. So I reckon we need some sort of money value, so it'll be a double. Oh, I don't like to type it there, I like to put these things together. So double. And give it a name, let's call it D-Money. Show me D-Money. That's the first one there. And we know it's related to the age, right? So iAge multiplied by 1,000, semicolon there. There's no error there. Now, iAge is an integer, that's fair enough. And this is also looking like an integer. But what will happen is the double will accept it and just turn it into a double by default. If we do get an error, I can always change it. But at the moment, it seems to be quite happy. Now let's find out how much the person gets. So the money, spell that correctly, is, and it's back to D-Money, which seems fine. We can save it and we can run it. And it gives us a value, 39 times 1,000 gives you 39. It's not quite money looking yet, so let's remember, we've still got this thing here we created before, the NFUK, NFUK.format, open bracket, get rid of the rubbish that pops up, close bracket, then save it again, and then run it again, and now we have money. So 61, if you're 61, you get 61 grand. 37 gets 37 grand, 24 gets 24 grand, and so on. That worked quite well. We've now done everything it said.